During his term, Washington lived between New York, Virginia, and Philadelphia, PA. In 1780, a Pennsylvania law partially did away with slavery. Instead of adhering to it, Washington argued that the law didn't apply to him because he really was a resident of Virginia. He was only living in Philadelphia because of the presidency. To avoid the law, Washington's wife, Martha, would travel back to Virginia every 6 months with their slaves. Even though doing so was illegal, no one enforced the law. When he passed away, he still owned 300 slaves. I'm Tariq Lowe on the BIN.
The only news that hears you.
The Black Information Network.
The Bay Area's BIN 910. I'm Doug Davis.
And I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
And here are your top stories. One of the victims of the latest school shooting is an African-American school custodian. The husband of a dedicated Black Chicago, Illinois church member is speaking out after a suspect was arrested for her murder. And African-American Senate Chaplain Rear Admiral Barry Black used his floor opening prayer to criticize lawmakers for doing nothing in the face of another school shooting.
Lord, deliver our senators from the paralysis of analysis that waits for the miraculous. Use them to battle the demonic forces that seek to engulf us.
His comments come after 3 children and 3 adults were shot and killed at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee. GunViolenceArchive.com reports that in March, there have been 38 mass shootings that resulted in 58 deaths and 133 injuries.
President Biden says it's up to Congress to pass an assault weapons ban following the deadly shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. The president said he's gone the full extent of his executive authority to tighten gun rules, and now it's up to lawmakers.
But Congress has to have it. The majority of the American people think having assault weapons is bizarre. It's a safety idea. We're against that.
Biden said most Americans want an assault weapons ban, and all he can do is plead with Congress to act.
TV industry professionals that are in the know are familiar with the CBS television studio NAACP production deal. Insiders are wondering if anything substantive will come out of it. The Black Information Network's John Marshall explains.
Following the George Floyd racial protest of 2020, the network partnered with the civil rights organization for a 5-year effort to create meaningful black TV programs. 3 years later, LATimes.com reports nothing yet has come to light. The reason? The broadcast TV industry is in a state of flux, and CBS could not have predicted the state of the industry now in 2020. NAACP President Derek Johnson says it was the right decision at the right time. Let's hope within the next 2 years, something positive comes out of the partnership. I'm John Marshall on the Black Information Network.
The African-American man who helped make the Black Holocaust Museum a reality is stepping down from his role as executive director. JDOnline.com reports Dr. Robert Burt Davis is leaving for family and personal reasons. He's been away from work for a few weeks. Davis was instrumental in bringing the museum to fruition despite setbacks like the COVID pandemic and funding discrepancies. The museum finally opened last year. Brad Pruitt will step in as the new president and CEO.
And a positive story out of North Carolina. Black soldiers who fought in the Civil War under the 135th U.S. Colored Infantry Regiment will finally be recognized as a Civil War marker. NewsObserver.com reports during the unveiling of the marker in Goldsboro, one woman spoke up and said it's about time. The ceremony was held on March 27th, 135 years after the unit was formed. I'm Doug Davis, along with Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If 100,000 BIN listeners were able to advance their careers or succeed in a new one, it would be one step towards building a better future for all of us. To learn more about the 100,000 Careers Initiative, visit careerbuilder.com/BIN.
Where black news comes first.
Listen and stay informed on the Bay Area's BIN 910.
Your money on the Black Information Network.
Congratulations. You're at the car dealership buying a new or used car. The finance manager goes over the terms of your loan. You notice a charge for something called gap coverage and wonder what it is. Well, more times than not, dealerships will include gap insurance, also known as loan or lease gap coverage, as part of the loan package. Financial experts say new cars depreciate about 20% in the first year, but the amount you owe on your loan doesn't. For instance, let's say you buy a car for $25,000. At the end of the first year, its actual cash value, or ACV, might be $17,500, but you might still owe $20,000 on your loan. In the event the vehicle is totaled and or stolen, your insurance company will pay $17,500 minus the deductible, and you'd be underwater, responsible for the loan balance of $2,500. In this instance, gap insurance would take care of the outstanding $2,500 to satisfy the bank loan in its entirety. According to Money.com, examples of when we need gap coverage include putting down less than 20% on the car, or getting financed for a period longer than 60 months. Money news at 24 and 54 minutes past each hour. I'm Julius White on the Black Information Network. The source for Black News.
The Black Information Network. The Bay Area's PIN 910.
I'm Doug Davis.
And I'm Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Here are your top stories. One of the victims of the latest school shooting is an African-American school custodian. The husband of a dedicated Black Chicago, Illinois church member is speaking out after a suspect was arrested for her murder. And African-American Senate Chaplain Rear Admiral Barry Black uses for open prayer to criticize lawmakers for doing nothing in the face of another school shooting.
Lord, deliver our senators from the paralysis of analysis that waits for the miraculous. Use them to battle the demonic forces that seek to engulf us.
His comments come after 3 children and 3 adults were shot and killed at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee. GunViolenceArchive.com reports that in March, there have been 38 mass shootings that resulted in 58 deaths and 133 injuries.
President Biden says it's up to Congress to pass an assault weapons ban following the deadly shooting in Nashville, Tennessee. The president said he's gone the full extent of his executive authority to tighten gun rules, and now it's up to lawmakers.
But Congress has to act. The majority of the American people think having assault weapons is bizarre. It's a safety idea. We're against that.
Biden said most Americans want an assault weapons ban, and all he can do is plead with Congress to act.
TV industry professionals that are in the know are familiar with the CBS television studio NAACP production deal. Insiders are wondering if anything substantive will come out of it. The Black Information Network's John Marshall explains.
Following the George Floyd racial protest of 2020, the network partnered with the Civil Rights Organization for a 5-year effort to create meaningful Black TV programs. 3 years later, LATimes.com reports nothing yet has come to light. The reason? The broadcast TV industry is in a state of flux, and CBS could not have predicted the state of the industry now in 2020. NAACP President Derek Johnson says it was the right decision at the right time. Let's hope within the next 2 years, something positive comes out of the partnership. I'm John Marshall on the Black Information Network.
The African-American man who helped make the Black Holocaust Museum a reality is stepping down from his role as executive director. JDOnline.com reports Dr. Robert Burke Davis is leaving for family and personal reasons. He's been away from work for a few weeks. Davis was instrumental in bringing the museum to fruition despite setbacks like the COVID pandemic and funding discrepancies. The museum finally opened last year. Brad Pruitt will step in as the new president and CEO.
And a positive story out of North Carolina. The Black soldiers who fought in the Civil War under the 135th U.S. Colored Infantry Regiment will finally be recognized with a Civil War marker. NewsObserver.com reports during the unveiling of the marker in Goldsboro, one woman spoke up and said it's about time. The ceremony was held on March 27th, 135 years after the unit was formed. I'm Doug Davis along with Esther Dillard on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If 100,000 BIN listeners were able to advance their careers or succeed in a new one, it would be one step towards building a better future for all of us. To learn more about the 100,000 Careers Initiative, visit careerbuilder.com/BIN.
The Bay Area's BIN 910 is powered in partnership with Direct Relief and Chevy. Thank you for partnering with a purpose on the Black Information Network.
Bill Powell had one goal upon returning from World War II, play golf in his homeland. When Powell was stationed in the United Kingdom as a young black soldier, he became accustomed to playing freely on the lush greens. This all changed when he returned home to Ohio, where his race made him an outcast. With limited equipment and a crew of family members, Powell was able to fulfill his goal by opening the very first black-built, owned, and operated golf course in the United States. Opening in 1948, Clearview got its name from the striking clear view from the area of the old 7th Tee. Clearview has endured decades of intimidation and racism from locals, but none of that has prevented the from receiving a multitude of honors and awards in the golf industry. In 2021, Clearview celebrates its 75th anniversary and continues to extend its legacy through campaigns, organizations, and initiatives surrounding social justice and civil rights. And that's the fact. I'm Felicia on the Black Information Network.
I'm Vanessa Tyler.
And I'm Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Nashville police go in fearlessly in a heart-pounding finish to an armed school shooter's deadly day.
Watch up! Suspect down!
We shot her dead, but it was too late. The white shooter, a transgender female, already did her damage. 3 children and 3 adults at the private school in Nashville were shot. Body cam shows police stopping her before they say she kills some more.
The shooting at the Covenant Presbyterian School in Nashville is unusual, according to previous research. A study by the Cato Institute found about 94% of the school shooting incidents in the U.S. between 2000 and 2018 happened in public school buildings, with the remaining 6% at private facilities. Researchers pointed to data showing private schools having fewer incidents, fighting, bullying, and weapons possession in general. They did note that public schools drastically outnumber private ones, which contributes to the disparity in incident numbers.
Sad, angry, and enough. The feelings in Nashville as the community comes to grips that it's happened to them now too. This national obsession with shooting up schools. Amid calls for better mental health help, Nashville City Councilwoman Sharon Hurt, who's black, says it's the guns.
We must have a national ban on assault weapons. The urgency is here. How many more people must die?
People with nothing left and so desperate to get life back to normal are their favorite targets. They're the scam artists. And Mississippi Attorney General's office, along with the State Board of Contract, have issued a warning to homeowners to be on the lookout for contractor schemes. Victims of the latest vicious storms are urged to be wary of contractors who go door to door and require cash payments. In addition, contractors who estimate the cost of home repairs to be $10,000 or more and commercial repairs of $50,000 or more should be required to have a valid license. And all jobs should be detailed in a written contract outlining specific work to be done, a payment schedule, and a timeline for the work to be completed.
Look down. Those shoes in your feet were probably not created by a black designer. Blacks make up less than 5% in all the design industry, which is why Dr. Dwayne Edwards, who is black and president of HBCU Penn Sol Lewis College of Business and Design, located in Detroit, and Bill Jordan, president of Design Brands, joined forces to cut the ribbon on the Gems by Penn Sol Shoe Factory in New Hampshire. The factory will recruit and develop black shoe designers. Already, initial shoe designs by Penn Sol Lewis graduates are ready to go. Buy them exclusively at DSW. By the way, Gems in the factory name are the initials of Jan Ernst Matt Zilliger, a black footwear pioneer credited with revolutionizing footwear manufacturing in the 1880s. I'm Vanessa Tyler with Mike Stevens on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
I'm Tariq Lowe with Maybe You Didn't Know. The township of Allensworth, California, near Bakersfield, was created in 1908. The location boasted fertile soil and ample supply of water and was along a railroad corridor. By 1912, many successful small businesses existed, and there was a school district. The Oakland Sunshine reported that the township generated $5,000 a month. The community was thriving. Maybe you didn't know that Allensworth, California was an all-black township, the first of its kind. It was founded by Colonel Allen Allensworth and a group of other black men attempting to create a refuge away from oppression and wishing to become self-reliant. Allensworth numbered around 300 residents at its peak. The problems with salts creeping into the water table led to drinkable water problems. The township's population dwindled away until it was just a memory. Allensworth is now memorialized as Colonel Allensworth State Historic Park, featuring a number of restored early 20th century buildings, including the Colonel's House. A yearly rededication ceremony is held to commemorate the original vision of the Allensworth pioneers. I'm Tariq Lowe on the VIN.
Black news all day, every day.
The power of information. The Bay Area's BIN 910.
I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910. Another powerful storm is on the way to Northern California.
This weak atmospheric reverse storm that will bring significant mountain snow, widespread lower elevation rain, and gusty winds to our area beginning tonight and continuing into Wednesday.
National Weather Service meteorologist Courtney Carpenter says the heaviest rain, snow, and wind will hit Sacramento's valley on Tuesday. Another 1 to 3 inches of snow could fall in the mountains. Lingering showers and thunderstorms are in Wednesday's forecast, followed by a short break Thursday and Friday. A weaker system could roll into the uppermost part of Northern California with light rain in the valleys and snow in the mountains.
That'll be something to keep in mind across the passes. And that combined with our gusty winds will create some major travel issues again, add additional feet of snow or snow loading issues on infrastructure across mountain communities.
And San Francisco is declaring an emergency before another storm causes more devastation. This will give departments extra resources to clean up hundreds of downed trees, which killed at least 5 people in the Bay Area last week. The declaration will also help inspect any windows that may have issues. Strong winds shattered glass at 6 high-rises. They were all issued a violation in order to submit an engineering report by next week. More Californians are getting a chance to make their dreams of owning a home a reality. A new loan program launched on Monday will give first-time homebuyers up to 20% of the purchase price to use as a down payment or towards closing costs. When the home sells, the state gets that portion back to help someone else. The program is expected to have enough money for about 2,300 people in the first year. And California is standing up to big oil. Lawmakers approved the nation's first penalty for high gas prices Monday, and Governor Gavin Newsom could sign the bill on Tuesday. He pushed to give state regulators the power to punish oil companies when they overcharge drivers at the pump. Money from those fines could go to a fund and could include rebates back to taxpayers. Right now it's costing an average of $4.82 a gallon in California. A hit-and-run suspect is behind bars in San Jose's 4th pedestrian death this year. A car hit a mother and daughter Sunday as they were walking their dog. It happened down the street from Lee High School, and they were all in a crosswalk. Only the daughter survived and remains in the hospital. Police say an automatic license plate reader identified the car and led to the driver. At least 61 people lost their lives in traffic accidents last year. And keep an eye out for an escaped bird flying free somewhere in the Bay Area. That plea from the Oakland Zoo as they search for a black and white crow named Diego. Officials shared a photo online saying, "Don't try to catch him because he's shy and startles easily. Simply call the rescue hotline." 5 other birds also got loose when a tree crashed into their habitat last week. 3 flew back on their own, and 2 others have since been recovered. And that's a look at what's happening around the Bay Area. On social media, follow us on Twitter at BlackInfoNet. I'm Natasha Williams on your home for 24/7 News, San Francisco's BIN 910.
Telling our stories is more important than ever, and the NADJ is committed to training and supporting Black journalists, media professionals, journalism students, and educators. Learn more at nadj.org. Black journalism at work.
Because truth matters. The Bay Area's BIN 910. A special thank you to McDonald's.
A proud founding partner who shares and supports the mission of the Black Information Network.
Heavily based on soul music, but incorporating elements ranging from funk, jazz, fusion, hip-hop, and African to electronic and pop, the term neo-soul emerged in the 90s as a way to define and market a soul revival which has been underway since the 80s. With artists like D'Angelo, Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and Maxwell all having success, industry execs found it necessary to classify the genre-bending music. A digital analog hybrid sound with conscience-driven lyrics, while heavily rooted in soul stars like Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder, Neo Soul tried to look backward and forward. Neo Soul has expanded and diversified with contributions from a new generation. This is Emmanuel Cologne for the Black Information Network.
24 24/7 news you can trust.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee of Texas is running to be Houston's next mayor.
The Black Information Network has the stories you need
We've identified the shooter as Audrey Hale.
With the perspective you